Hello, and welcome to Field Notes. I'm your host, Haley Fleming, and on this episode, we'll be talking about sea otters in the Gulf of Alaska. Sea otters are one of the top predators in the nearshore food web. They're also considered a keystone species, meaning that they have disproportionate effect on their environment given their population size. This has to do with their foraging behaviors. They eat a lot. They eat about a third of their body weight every day. Individuals can weigh between 50 and 80 pounds. Their metabolism is 2 to 3 times higher than a similarly sized terrestrial animal. Even though they have the thickest coat of any mammal, their lack of blubber contributes to their high metabolic rate and thermoregulation needs. A typical adult in the wild can live up to 12 or 13 years. The fur harvest that began in the 1700s almost caused sea otters to become extinct. In 1911, the Sea Fur Treaty Act was signed, giving protection to sea otters and other marine mammals. At this point, very few sea otters were left. Some estimates put the total population at around 1,000 individuals. It became apparent through ecosystem studies at the time that sea otters have a large effect on their environment, giving them the keystone species designation. Places in the Aleutians that no longer had any otters became urchin barrens. Kelps were non-existent because the urchins eat the kelp. Kelp forests are as important to complexity in the ecosystem as forests are on land. They provide habitats that support an abundance of species, nursery grounds for fish, and are a source of primary productivity. Systems without otters feeding on the urchins resulted in very low levels of productivity. This is just one example illustrating how important sea otters are in structuring marine ecosystems. As these animals recover, researchers are still discovering what other effects they can drive in the ecosystems that they inhabit. Another example of ecosystem influence has been seen on the Katmai Coast in recent years. Researchers were seeing lots of prime-age sea otter carcasses. In a healthy population, it's normal to see the very young and the very old perish, but to see prime adults die led researchers to question the cause. Remote cameras were put along the beaches, and it was discovered that predation from terrestrial mammals like wolves and bears was the answer. Researcher and nearshore component lead of the Gulf Watch Alaska program, Heather Coletti, wonders how many of these marine terrestrial interactions were occurring before large-scale anthropogenic manipulation. We've seen how biodiversity can change with the presence of sea otters. Researchers wonder if they could play a larger positive role in ecosystem resiliency in light of a rapidly changing marine environment. Given that they still haven't fully recovered to their historical numbers, it's exciting to think about what they might still have to offer. Long-term monitoring efforts like the Gulf Watch Alaska program that Heather is a part of provide the backbone for questions like these by establishing baselines for species in our region. Thanks for listening, and for more information about projects like this one and others, visit our website at pwssc.org.